Hello and welcome to my workshop. Today we're going to be continuing on and trying to finish up the conversion for the Cherokee XJ grill and tailgate. We've made quite a bit of progress on both of them. We're going to be focusing on getting this new shape molded in for the top, as well as carving in some of the detail to match up along with the body lines for the front of the grill. So with the grill, what we were able to do is to take the original front, cut it off, and add a piece at the bottom, make essentially a frame or a bezel that we were able to glue in the grill from a SCX-10-2 kit that is the right year vintage that we're looking for. So we essentially made this outside bezel to replicate the look of the 97, which from what I understand, that's the biggest difference, is the grill and the tailgate on the two. We also were able to carve in on the side some recesses to have some of the lights that go in. Now we'll have to paint these orange, and they'll be glued in once the whole thing is painted. But we have the notch and recess, and we have the pieces to go in. These were originally the tail lights out of this kit, and I just cut these down and ground them to shape to look just like the ones out of the 97. So that rounds out the grill, and that's pretty much complete. The tailgate, we still have some work to go on this, including rounding out this corner here, but making good progress. Like I said, just a little bit to go on the tailgate, and then we'll be finished with our portion. So let's get started with that. So the original tailgate, the back glass was recessed in slightly. When you look at the newer model, like a 97, they've moved the back glass further out, and instead of having the recess, it's sitting pretty well proud with the back, and they've also filled in a lot of that gap that was there. So what I'm going to be doing here is cutting a piece of styrene, the basic shape of the back glass, gluing that in. Then recutting out the bezel, which will then raise that portion up, and then I'll be able to remold that in and install the back glass so that now it sits flush instead of recessed. So here using some two-part plastic putty. It's kind of like an epoxy. It's got the hardener on the inside, or I think it's hardener on the inside. So A and B. A's on the inside, B is on the outside. You cut a section off, you roll it together to a consistent color, and it's somewhat workable. It's not like a real putty, but it's you can lower it somewhat. It takes several hours to dry, but once it does, it sands and cuts very similar to a regular plastic would. So it works well for filling in these giant seams I got between the new styrene and the old body. So I'm just pressing it in, cutting off the excess, let that dry and come back and sand it. And then if there's any huge voids, I can fill that back in with more plastic epoxy, and the rest I can just put in with some Tamiya putty. So here I'm putting on some of the Tamiya putty with a small metal modeler's spatula. It's quite a handy tool to have. It just comes in several different shapes, but the one I have right here is the one I probably use the most. And I typically use the Tamiya putty. I use the gray and the white, and a lot of times I just use a different color for contrast. I've tried a lot of different other kinds of fillers and automotive fillers, and the green putty, and a lot of different ones you can try, but Tamiya putty seems to be the best on the market. It dries the hardest, it just seems to work the best.